All right, continue.
When she reached 10 years old and she became a young lady, she had to go to her husband's home. And her mother went to work and left and told her to get dressed. But her uncle, because they all live in the one district, the uncle came and bring a sari for her, a nice sari, and tell her to dress to go to meet the boy. And she did that. But what happened after she dressed and things, she went to visit them to say goodbye. And while she was coming out from them, she could say goodbye, she was crying coming down. And this cart pulled up coming down the road and asked her, no, they don't talk like us, eh? They sing. Whenever they addressing you, they sing. And he's singing and asking her, why are you crying? You're looking so beautiful in that beautiful sari. Why are you crying? What is wrong with you? And she told him, I have to go to my husband's home today, but I don't want to go. I don't like my husband. I don't want to see him. I don't want to be near to him. I want to go. You're taking it there.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to my husband's home. I want to remain with my mother and stay there. And the car driver tell her, jump into my cart, I'll drop you home. And she jumped in the cart. And instead of dropping her home, he drove her straight to a station, at a railway station. And he said when he came out, he took her out, and the other people came out too. Now they were selling the people as slaves then, right? And when he went and he tell them that these are the people we bring to go away then. They were recruiting people to come to Trinidad. But they were bringing them as slaves, not slaves now. Well,
Indentured laborers.
Indentured laborer. And when they saw her, the fella said, she too young, we can't take that young person. And there was a lady, a Muslim lady with 2 children. She had one in her arm and one in her hand. And they said, put this girl with her. And they put my mother with her. And said, this is the family, they don't go in. But she didn't know the lady, she didn't know nothing. She didn't know
anything about
no.
the family and this one. Yeah.
She didn't know who they were and what they were and things. But they talked
So
in the
she
same
realized
language.
what was going on?
Huh?
Did she realize what was going on?
No, she didn't she didn't know what. She thought she going back home.
Right.
And from they bring bread and something, I think it's sardine, bread and sardine to give her. She was hungry. And they gave her that, and the train, they went in the train now. And the train brought them down to the port, right? And at the port, they just take them and put them in the boat. And when she went with the whole group ended. When she went on the port, the lady went in a different way and left my mother alone. So my mother went and sat down with some other women and things like that. And she sat down and she was crying, and the lady asked her, why are you crying? She said, I thought I was going back home to my mother's house. But look where I am, I don't know where I am. And she said, what are they doing with us? And like, none of them knew what was happening.
So they had fooled all these people?
Yeah. So while she was on the boat, she used to cry and thing, and nobody combing her hair, and then there was this lady. We called her Kachori Mama, but her name was, she said her name was Julia.
You met her?
Yeah, we grew up with her. She started taking care of my mother on the boat, because my mother, when she eats, she was vomiting in the sea then.
She was seasick?
Yes, she used to help her with everything. And she joined up with her, and when they came to Trinidad, they were come to the port in Port of Spain, and they grouped her with my mother and sent them to Nelson Island. At Nelson Island, they stayed there to check the health and all those kind of things. And the bidders, the estate owners used to come to bid for people. And when this estate owner come, he bid for my mother and the lady to come to Picton Estate. Right? To Golconda Estate, not Picton, Golconda Estate.
So she was from Port of Spain, then went to Golconda.
On the estate, and they had barracks and things there. So they left her there, right, with this lady. And they tell her, you have to go and help with this. They tell her, they give them food and things, I suppose. And they say, well, tomorrow you'll have to go out and they'll tell you what you have to do. So when she went out, she didn't know nothing about cutting cake because she wasn't accustomed to doing them things.
And she's young.
And she's young, so she was so frightened. She used to be hiding in the cane because she didn't know what to do. She and the lady used to hide. And she said when they're hungry, she didn't know, they had no water to drink. She gone in the river, and the river have worms, and just have little worms.
Yeah,
she said
and brong and stuff.
And she take up the water and just take out the worms and drink that to live. And then they said they tell her that she have to learn to cut cane. She couldn't do it. And while she was there working, she working every day, going to work every day. I think she met, there was a man who was working on the estate, just a helper. And it seemed as though he get in with her then. And she stayed for a little while there, but she didn't like the man. You understand? And she moved
So
out.
a guy from the estate called Conda Estate.
He was already there.
Yeah, an older guy?
Yeah, they had people who were there before.
Right.
Already, right? But she only talked to him because he was talking the same language like her. And
how they used to sing?
Yes, in Madras now. The language, Telugu.
Telugu.
Yeah, Telugu. That language. And well, he tell her that he liked her and thing, and he brought her there, but she said she don't want a husband. Anyway, while she there, she work. He tell her she have to come and carry the manure. Wasn't manure, was cow dung in baskets. They use it as manure in those days. They used it as manure for the cane. And she had to carry it on her head. She said it was so heavy, and they have to walk from where they had it and to go and get into the estate to give them to put in the cane when they planted the cane. She said that was so terrible. She tired when she come home. She tired. She just to bathe and sleep. And then after again, one day while she was telling her she had to cut cane and load the cart with cane. Now Golconda and Picton near to each other. It's two different estates, but they were near to each other.
Yeah.
It's Picton and then Golconda. And my father was working in Picton Estate, but he had already made his 5 years. He was indented for 5 years. And he come and he used to help her cut the cane and pack the cane on the thing. He started doing that, and then they get to like one another, and he decided to make her his wife. And he carried her where his barracks was, and she lived with him, and I started to have children.
So she moved from Golconda to Picton.
Picton, yes.
But when you give him 5 years, that means you know more?
No, you could leave.
Oh, so they left?
No, they left. Where they going?
Right.
They know where to go. They have nowhere to go. They tell them, you stay 5 years. Because if you want to go back to India, you will get a trip. They will carry back free to India on the boat. But if you don't want to go back, you can stay and work if you want to. So he decided what he was doing. He was buying gold pieces, and he was putting it in the same container now. Did a kind of galvanized.
Yeah, tin pan kind of.
Yes, put it in the container to carry it back home. He was saying that when he buy these gold pieces, he'll go back and tell his parents he worked for gold. And this is the gold he worked for. But he kept it, he kept packing it, buying 5 pieces, 5 pieces, and 5 pieces. And it was 25 pieces, 25 cents gold piece, and it had the $25 gold piece and $50 gold piece, right? And he kept keeping it there all the time. Anyway, he started to have children. They started to have Kay. The first child she had she had 2 children before, and they were not living. Every time they born, they died. And a lady came and told her, if she wants to keep the children, she have to sell the child. And she said, all right, if she have another child, she will sell it. Because the children dying. And when she made cake, she sold cake in a, they call that a soup. I think they make like I think the fan rice now. When they have rice, you fan it.
Ah.
Take out all the straw,
Oh,
and the
okay.
rice will remain. They know how to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
So she sold cake on that thing for the lady for a penny. And when she sold cake lived.
So she had to sell her before she was born?
Yeah?
She had to sell her before
No,
she...
when she born,
Oh.
she had to do that. So anyway, Kay lived, right? And they continued working in the estate and things. Then when Garib, she was pregnant with Garib now, she got very, very sick. And when she had to have Garib, she had to go to St. Madeline had a hospital. And she had to go to the hospital to have Garib. But they used to work, they used to plant, they had a piece of land in, not they bought the land, they just bought government land now. And they planting all kind of things. They went and they plant rice. Right, long time. They have to build a square now.
Mm-hmm.
For the water
And the swampy lands.
Swampy land, yeah.
Yeah.
But you build it square for the water to stay in it when they plant the rice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they plant rice. She and my father went. We used to walk from Picton to Gulf to
Fazin? Or Debe?
Debe, yeah.
Ooh.
It wasn't
That
far.
far? Okay.
Walk to Debe and they go and they cut the land and they make the rice field. They make rice.
So this
field.
after they work on the sugar,
And they go down.
they will...
Yeah. And there's a plant, little booty and little things there.
Yeah.
And when Garib was born, it was around November. It was November, right?
Uh-huh.
November, December. Rain fall. They had to go and cut the rice, but she couldn't go to cut the rice. She had to go to the hospital. And my father got sick too, and he was at the hospital. Same time he was sick and he was in the hospital too. So both of them was in the hospital.
One being born and one sick.
And Kay walking all about.
Uh-huh.
And one day my father in the hospital, he looked out and he saw Kay walking all about like if, when children have to work. And he see Kay pick up a piece of a roti, like they threw it away, and she was eating it. And he said, nah, I can't see my daughter doing that. And he leave the hospital. Although he was sick, he leave the hospital and come out and take up Kay and come home. And he tried to make something for her to eat.
And how old was Auntie Kay?
Eh?
How old was Auntie
Was
Kay?
about 2 or 3 years.
And they just have her walking around?
But she left home and come walking. Because she follow people and come looking for her mother and father now. I don't know. Anyway, my mother had Garib,
Yeah.
right? And she came out of the hospital too, in the rain with Garib. And when she come home, she said, well, she called this sister make a son, but Garib is poor. So she called him Garib. Garib in India.
He's what?
Poor.
Poor?
Garib, yeah. Garib is poor.
Uh-huh.
When they tell you you're Garib, they mean you're poor. So she called him, well, they didn't have rice, they didn't have nothing, and he's become a poor boy. And that is how the name Garib stick on him. Garib.
But is that his real name?
No, Christian Athanasius. His Catholic name is Athanasius Gopal.
Oh, okay.
They name him Gopal Athanasius.
Gopal Athanasius.
Yeah, so when he come now, my father couldn't go to work. And the foreman then, they used to call him Sardar. The foreman come to find out, kick in the door. What happened when they coming out to work? My father said, I said, I can't work. But look, 5 gold piece. Take this now and just cover up for me. So he take the gold piece and gone. So that's the first 5 gold piece he lose, right? And then there's one food and then that he take another 5 gold piece to go and buy food for them.
Yeah.
And so they live and then they live good and thing, and then she get pregnant with Jaggy. And well, she was still working in the estate. She still work. Both of them are still working in the estate.
And he got better?
Who? Garib?
No, my
father. Yes,
yeah.
he got better. Went back, but he went back and helped her work too. In the estate. He worked in the estate to get money. And while she was working in the estate, loading the cart with cane. This cart came from Pitimoon as another estate near in the back by St. Madeleine there.
Oh, okay.
And when she saw the cat coming, she loaded the cat, and the man started singing Madras, eh? And he know my mother. He's telling her about the ship and how they come in the boat and things. And she sing back in it. How you know me? She said, but you were with us. Where are you now? And he said, you're my sister. You know, but not real sister. And the both of them cry. Because they remember they come on the boat and they were separated on the boat and things. And they cried. He was working in the estate and he lived in St. Madeleine.
Oh.
After he retired, he get a house in St. Madeleine, and she considered him a brother. And she asked him about his mother, and he said his mother died, and the other brother, he growing up, and he's selling in the market.
Oh, and is this the lady from the ship?
Yes.
Who took care of her on the ship?
No. The lady who took care of her on the ship was
Good, true.
No. We used to call she kachori, ma'am.
Kachori, yeah.
You know why? Because she used to sell kachori.
Ah.
But
the other lady at the sanction, the station
at
before.
The station, yes.
Initial spots.
Yes. That was the one who bring
and she had 2 sons.
And the bigger son he knew my mother.
Ah.
So when he was driving the car to carry the cane.
Yeah.
And he started singing and tell her in his language, you don't remember he was on the train and the boat with my mother and me? And she said, yes, she remembered that. She remembered she came, she said she looked all about the boat for them and she couldn't find them. Anyway, he said they came and they sent them to Petitmon Estate. So his mother came and was working in the estate and mind them, and they was in the barracks. Well, when they come, they had to live in barracks. So after that, she get to know him when they started talking and he coming home. And the lady who mind her on the boat stayed with her too, picked her with her and always with her.
Kachori.
Yeah, Kachori, working with her wherever she working.
Yeah, they were like
2 sisters.
Yeah.
Then she come. My father had another Jahaji. And he and my father was good friend. His name is Pa Nair. My father's name is Narine Nair, you know.
Right.
Not Narine alone. Narine Nair. Sorry we didn't carry that. And the Nair people in India is people who had estates. They were not poor people. They were people who had the land and they had estates, cane. They had water, corn and everything. They didn't have to work for anybody. They used to work on the estates. So the Nair people had a high rank in their country.
And how you spell the Nair?
N-A-I-R.
Oh, N-A-I-R. Narine Nair.
Nair.
And which part? Where's Grandpa, great grandpa? What do you call him, Bop? Where's Bop from? Originally in India.
I don't know where. Is in India, in Madras too. But
in Madras, but a tongue in Madras.
East Madras. My mother was West Madras.
Oh, okay.
So East Madras, they speak. That is what they call them, and they speak Malayalam. My mother would speak Telugu, and those on the west side is Tamil. And to hear about the Tamil people who just fight.
I'm gonna have to look it up now that I hearing all these names.
Yeah.
So that was Nanie was on the Tamil. That speak Telugu.
On this side, on the west.
On the west side.
And my father was on the east side of India, and they speak Malayalam. But not much people come from the southern part of India. Most of the people came from Calcutta. Calcutta and Bengal.
Calcutta and Bengal.
Bengal now is Bangladesh. They name it Bangladesh. After they get independence with how you call him? Mahatma Gandhi. They had a contract. The Muslim people say we have nowhere to live. How you get independence? Well, give us a place to live. So they give them this side is where the Pakistan is. They gave them that part. That was in their own, you know.
Oh, and then they started dividing it up.
And they gave the other side, the Bengal was on the west side, more to China, going to them Chinese.
Oh, okay.
And they gave them, they named them Bangladesh. So you don't see what we fight in cricket, we fight in Bangladesh, and we fight in Pakistan.
Right.
They call themselves Pakistan, but they are Muslim people.
Oh.
And now the Muslim people want Kashmir, which is up in the north. They have a place called Nepal, belong to England.
Nepal, yeah.
And those people very fair because of the weather.
Uh-huh.
They're very fair like white people, but they have all kind of funny eyes. Green eyes and what, you know.
Colored eyes. Uh-huh.
So then I think my father was Malayalam. And
From the east.
Yes, he could understand my mother could understand.
So how they communicate?
Well, you know how they communicate. I don't know, she couldn't tell me how they communicate. But they make children.
That's all they do.
They make, after Jaggi they make ram.
Wow.
But what happened, my mother was although she didn't go to school and thing, but she liked intelligence,
Yeah.
because she said when she was in India and they come in and passing by the convent, she always wanted to go to that school.
Oh, really?
But they were poor, they couldn't go to that school. Only rich people could go to that school.
So
She
that's
said one
before
day-
the time with free education.
The time she said one day they're coming from the mother coming because the father died and the mother had to mind them. The mother went to work in an estate and she had carried them small and they come in and rain fall and all the clothes wet and they sheltered under the convent.
Oh, yeah.
And she said the nuns come out and come and take clothes and give them clothes to wear and thing. So she liked the nuns.
Oh.
She said, I want to go here. But how she gonna go there?
Yeah.
So when she get ram now,
Yeah.
after she get ram, they decide to leave that place and come.
Golconda.
Was in Picton.
Picton. Picton is where the rice.
Huh?
Picton was where the rice estate was, right?
No, the estate was Gol. No, in those days, little pieces of places were belonging to every white man come here own an estate.
Oh, okay.
So Golconda is next to Picton,
Picton.
right? When you come down the road, the new road, you see nice Golconda, all there is
yeah.
Golconda, and you turn down and you're going down the flat here
Yeah.
is Picton.
Oh.
You're coming out of Picton. So my father was on this side and she was on this side.
Right.
But they will meet up now.
Yeah.
Because they all meeting up everybody.
Everybody walking and
walking, yes.
yeah.
So
So when Uncle Uncle Ram was born,
when
they
he was-
moved to where?
Wait, then when Uncle Ram born, she see the school, Picton Presbyterian School. It was a wooden school. And she said and she enrolled Kay, Jaggi and Gary in the school. Right? And when Ram comes, small boy, she sent him there. And they decided they were so unhappy there living in that barrack. And the man who I told you my father, other person they call him, when they said Jahaj, they mean brother now. Not blood brother.
Real brother.
Not brother. Brother in the nation then.
Right.
Right? He had opened a restaurant in San Fernando. In the back of the hospital there. The
Like
old
Valsane?
hospital.
Oh,
In the old hospital.
oh, yeah.
Right? You see when you come, they had the dead house, they call it the dead house.
Yeah.
And the children, a place where they carry children to get clinic and things. And opposite to that, these people named Deska, they had owned, you see where Royal Banquet, they had owned all in front there. And they had house, little huts where they were renting. And they make no other upma, the man opened a roti shop and people used to come and buy there. When they come into the hospital, they had the health center right down there too.
Oh, okay.
So when they come to health center, they come and buy roti and things, you know. So he told my father, I'm going back to India and I have a little daughter. And I have to leave her. I can't carry her. Will you take care of her? And my father said, yes, he will take care of her. And she grew up with Kay. They came and she was there.
So the daughter was the same age as Auntie Kay then?
Yeah.
She's older?
No, same age.
Oh.
Right? But she was very fair, good looking lady. But she got married to a Negro guy. He was born in Desgandem place and he was working in the town hall.
Oh.
And he see her and he say he like her and he marry her. Older was his name.
Oh.
And she come and they were living in Nava there, up in that's I forget Skinner Street.
Oh, okay. By Skinner Park?
No, not Skinner Park. and going up to Coffee there.
Oh,
Coming
okay.
down by Navet Road.
Yeah.
A road called Skidder Street. And they
Oh.
were living, he built a house there and he carried her there. And my mother was running the cook shop. But she and my father always getting away because she finds it's too much of work, too much of work, and too much of work. So he said, okay, let me leave it, and he come and he go and he live on High Street there. It had a little apartment down in the back there, in the back of the store. Right? They had houses in the back, little houses. Long time house was no big house, you know. People rented little house, little apartment and things. So my father rented an apartment there. And he used to work with a man selling ice, right where Huggins is, if you know in San Fernando, Huggins. Right after Huggins is another little store. I think it's, what do you call him? Anyway, after Huggins was Farah. And my father used to work right there, they were selling ice, and he used to help them sell ice and get paid. And then he come and he would get working cannons. I was born, but my sister was big already. And my mother had pain to make baby and they came in hospital and I born.
San Fernando?
And she said that, and I tell you how I was so fear and thing, my father had liked me too bad. So carry me and sit down and watch me walking and thing. And how laughing and thing. So buy a little thing for me now, sweets and thing. So my mother still started quarrel. Oh, she don't like here, she don't like here. He come and they went to live Jarvis Street. In a place, I forget how they call that place. Now, if you go there, where they were living, if you see the kind of big houses down there, now hill.
Wow.
Happy Hill.
Happy Hill. Further up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Hill. And if you see all the lovely houses they build there. And what happened when she come there to live, to get water, she had to come down a big long hill, you know, and pull the water and walk up the hill with it. So she started quarrel about that. She and me, she always quarreling. Oh, you bring me here to make me suffer and all them kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he come and Mr. Kunchi, Idu, was his good friend too, Jaji. Both of them come from the same place. They were on the boat together and they lived together all the time. He come and he say he buy a place in Springville. And he said come as an estate and the man, Boyak, was the man who owned the estate. And he's selling out all the lands. If you want, you could rent it or you could. My father come up and go to talk to Boyak, and he had $300, I think, $300 for the land. And Boyak selling the land.
So he bought it.
House and land.
So that's where the house is now in Valsain.
Valsain?
Is it Valsain? No. Vistabella? Vistabella.
That it was a wooden house.
Yeah.
And he buy house and land for $300. And he saved that kind of money.
But you'll never hear those prices ever again.
No. When this work shop, he saved the money. He come down all the time we lived there. Mikey born right there. Mikey born hospital, but from there.
Yeah.
And we lived there and go to school and everything. The house still there. Well, he built over the house.
Yeah.
Built it over from wooden to concrete.
But the same kind of house?
No. That house was a 2-bedroom house. 2-bedroom wooden house. But he built a 3-bedroom with concrete now.
Yeah.
Because he said he have children. So the front bedroom was Jaggy and Garib used to stay in the front bedroom. The second bedroom was Ram and Mikey. And the third bedroom was I and my mother used to sleep. My father never sleep with us.
So where?
He used to sleep outside.
Outside?
In the hall.
Oh, they had like a chair or something?
Rug. Spread bag or the rug and lie down and sleep. What he built a big tent, a big thing downstairs like a bed, out of wood. And he used to stay downstairs, but then he started to come upstairs.
Oh.
Right?
So he was a simple man.
Simple man. That's how it is. And then, well, Kay come and she was working hard. That's how my mother come to Trinidad, right?
So she ever wanted to go back?
No, when somebody who was here and know about her father, know where she come from, who worked in the estate with her, went back home, went back to India and told her mother she's in Trinidad. And the mother used to get somebody who knew to write English in thing, because remember the English people had India and had English schools.
Yeah.
So the people who could send their children to English school send their children, and she got two people used to write my mother, and she used to correspond with them, and she would send money. In those days we had British, we were colonial, so we had British coins, and she used to send British money for them. Right?
To India.
In India. Oh, we wasn't sure if they were getting it. And they sent picture, the mother sent picture. She said how she looked all over for her, she couldn't find her. And she cried so much. And she missed her daughter, and she was so, because this was the first daughter, and all she had was one second daughter, and she had a granddaughter with the second daughter. And she said she's still looking for her. But my mother said, well, she can't come now, but if at any time she get a chance to come, because after the estate closed down, you can't go to India again.
No more transportation.
No free transportation. You want to go, you have to pay.
So when did the estate close down? When after Uncle Mikey was born, huh?
Yeah, long after Mikey was born. Because we were not in the estate again, we come San Fernando, we San Fernando people.
No more estates.
No, Jaggy went to boys' school, Jaggy, Arab and Ram went to boys' school. Kay went to St. Gabriel's.
So all you all ended up getting education.
How we get the same desk ladies say, if you want to get your children to school, you have to make them Catholics. So she take all of them, and all of them gone prisoners Catholic. And that's how Jaggy went to boys' school, and your mother went to St. Gabriel's. Right? That's how it was.
Interesting. They went through a lot, huh?
But you see, my mother, I have to say my mother is an intelligent woman. Although she didn't go to school, she know when you have to go to school to learn.
Yeah.
She know that education is important, and she makes sure all of them go to get education. But she say, Gareb used to run away from school and go in the cinema. And Jaggy, Jaggy get prizes at boys' school, you know.
Oh, really?
And she never go. Kay used to go to receive the prize. To represent Jaggy.
Why wouldn't she go?
But she can't talk English.
So she don't want to go?
She didn't want to go to make him embarrass him now. So Kay used to go. Kay used to go. Every time you had to get a prize. He gave prize for best arithmetic or best mathematics and all them things. Jack get a lot of prizes, you know. And Kay used to go for it. But Ram wasn't bright.
No?
He wasn't bright. He was a little
Slow?
slow. In a long time you had slow learners. They start slow, and then when they get big they start. But because he was slow, my mother couldn't take him on. She loved Jaggy. Oh, she loved Jaggy because Jaggy is the boy with all the brain. Yeah? And she told Garby, you'll catch your tail. When you come out, you'll catch your tail. You'll never get a work you'll never get a work. So Garby really, when he come out, he started to work in the grocery. Right? He was used to in the grocery. In those days, in the where they have the frozen thing now. He used to sell cut the ham. They used to have ham cook already. You just slice it up and fold it up and put it there, and people used to come and buy it. And he had all kind of things, rabbit and things. He used to work in the cold storage part. And one day he had thick curly hair. He always used to take water and wet it, stick it out so. And he want to go to work. Say, me I'm going to work there again. They must tell him about he and I, you know. But he gone when he stay home now. He had no work. A fella called him to work. A fella named Mr. Lee called Gareth to work. You put in all that there?
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Called Gareth to work. And what kind of work he had to dig dirt. So my mother went to carry food one day for him. And when she see in his son and he digging dirt, so she cried. She said, look what my son doing now. Boy, don't go back to work. But then he went and learned to drive the tractor. And he learned and drive tractor. And when he learned to drive tractor, he buy a car. In those days, it's small car. What kind of car?
Volkswagen? The Bugs?
No. Well, I forget.
Oh, I wasn't around with that time.
It's a small car.
A Ford?
Four-seater car.
Is it a Ford car?
Yeah?
A
It's
Ford?
a Ford, yes. McCann, you're selling them.
Oh.
Your father buy one too, your grandfather buy one too, you know.
Oh.
But Gary buy that and he start to run taxi, go and get his license, do taxi. He get his taxi license and thing, and he started to run. He go to work in the sun again to drive tractor. He come and he start selling thing.
Oh.
So he said, in those days you getting shilling and thing. You know what we used to do? Me and Mikey, we wore money, we used to go and thief 2 shilling every day from the pocket. When he go to bed and he hang up his pants before he thief 2 shilling.
He used to know?
I don't know if he know anything, but we used to thief the one too. When he go to school, you want to buy any little thing. Yeah, everybody buy it. So we had we asked him. Oh, we used to thief like 2 shilling, man. Shilling, little shilling. So we are taking no 10 cents and 6 cents. Taking shilling.
And shilling was 25 cents?
24 cents.
Oh.
And that's how life was. Then Jaggy come out, when he finished school, he went and do typing and shorthand and thing. And he get a job in the airfield, Dog Forest Reserve, and bringing money for his mother. Mother say, you see, you tell Gary, you work, you go to school, look, he working, he bringing money. He's a bright boy. She like people with education. She like teacher too bad, you know.
Oh, really?
Man, you could be black as what? It's not a black man that like me. The teacher, me could like you too. I think Betty was who wanted Betty said, will you walk with that black man looking? You want to go down High Street with me? I said, let me walk in front first. Betty said, come me, I want to walk with that black man. But he was a teacher and my mother didn't like him too bad. Oh God, she loved teacher.
Oh, really?
She loved teacher.
She loved education.
She loved education.
How come did she go to school?
I know what I said, I'm going to cry and say, you see, my mother was an intelligent woman. She liked education and I should have taught her. If I had taught her how to read and things, she would have learned.
Yeah.
Now that I see the picture with in thing they where the child teaching the elephant how to do write A, B, C.
It's possible.
And the elephant taking the trunk and he taking the pen and he writing.
So nobody taught her?
No, nobody taught her.
She didn't want to learn, or?
Yes, she would have liked to learn, but we are teaching her. Well, she could take too long to learn. She used to sit down around the table, the dining table. She and my father sat down around there and hearing how I doing my lessons. And when Jaggy teaching me, she listening to how Jaggy teaching me. Boy, we really want to see Jaggy now because you're watching over you. How you do that?
I know.
You're bright like hell. Oh, God.
So how old was Dad when you all were going to school?
He was in his teens first, no, when he finished the course.
Yeah.
He was in his teens and he get work in 1920 down Forest Reserve.
And how old were you all then?
Well, we was going to a private school. And from private school I went to St. Gabriel's. And Mikey was going boys' school. So when we first standard, second standard, he used to watch the arithmetic.
Yeah.
You know, a long time was a West Indian reader.
Yeah, West Indian reader.
When he called me to read, I could read too bad, you know. God, reading is a thing I love. I could read too bad.
But the maths?
Mikey couldn't read.
Oh, no?
No, but I couldn't read. But when time to do maths, something I fried like a little maths.
Usually
English,
people either they read or they do maths.
Yeah, English is all right. But you see, maths, you're frightened. I couldn't do it, you know, but I had to take with time. But he used to say, what is that, what is that? And you're so frightened. See.
Oh, Lord.
I used to teach for him to count with cord and bring a set of cord. I said, count it. And when he got, I hit him with that. So look, I hit him and I friend Jackie to hit me.
And he's one of the older ones.
Yeah.
And you're the young one.
But I teaching him and And Jackie coming to see what I doing. And I running from Jackie. And he running from me.
Oh, Lord.
You know, and my mother learned to bake bread. She learned how to boil ham. She learned how to stew. Stew. She used to go to the market, buy pork first and stew pork first. Stew chicken. She know how to bake pone. She know how to bake pie. And she didn't know how to make sugar. She always making sugar cake or kurma or something.
So you used to sell?
Yeah.
Just for home?
She learned all that. When you see she make bread, man, we had four tins. The big bread high, so you know.
Wow.
She know how to do that too. And when she boiled that ham, long time the ham used to come with that black thing and salty.
So you have to boil it out.
Boil it good, boil it real good, and then after she put a little sugar in the water. So now the salt wouldn't say too much. She boiled it, that water she throw in, she put
fresh water with sugar?
With sugar. And when you start to slice a ham, she put the ham in a dish, she get a dish, she to put it on a dish, and you cut it up. So, and when they come to play, when them fellas in the area come with the guitar and the concertina and they singing and thing, she cut up the ham for them there and she put it in rum and the canter we had and some small glasses and she put it, she know how to dress the table game. I said, this lady I go nowhere from India, she know nothing how to make bread and thing and cut up and she could have cook when she cook the food she say good.
Wow.
Your grandfather didn't like how she so good.
And what happened to Bob? How did he die?
Oh, he had cancer.
What kind of cancer?
In his duodenum.
In his
duodenum, the one coming down here.
Oh.
And they had to cut him. They cut him from here to here.
So is that why he was feeling sick?
Yes.
Remember when he was
sick.
So was that used to bother him?
Yeah, it used to bother him. And then my sister when he used to go to a doctor called Doctor just I'll tell you, a white doctor, Dr. Crow. And they used to be in the hospital. And Crow said that they do too much, sometimes they do x-ray and they see nothing.
Right.
They see nothing. And he said, can't stand the pain, tell your mother, Auntie Kay, I can't stand this pain, do something for me now. I can't take this pain again. So Auntie Kay went and talked to Dr. McShine, Halesley McShine. It was Dr. Pitt and Dr. McShine. Dr. McShine was the surgery man now. And she went and talked to McShine and said, well, they see nothing. But McShine said, I will cut him to see what is wrong, right? And I was pregnant with Sandra. And he wanted blood, and I went and I gave him blood. And I faint away when I get the blood. They put me on a bed, and when they finish, they come and bring a glass of orange juice for me. And I feel good, I went back to work.
Yeah.
But when they cut him, they saw the cancer. And they cut out the cancer. They cut out what they could see. And what happened, the thing was a long operation, but the anesthetic they gave him was for, ordinary thing.
Yeah.
And he was coming out the anesthetic, and the doctor was so frightened, he didn't want him to die. And just whip him up, how you overcast the thing that's on to him. And put him on, put the plaster and thing, and then come out for him to live now. So he lived. And when they went to take out the plaster, take out the stitches, it was dry and thing now. He didn't have sugar and thing, so it was dry. So they sent him home. But he come home now and he feeling good. He started to mix concrete to concrete up the place here, Nanie.
The house?
The house. The yard now.
Yeah.
It was dirty yard, so he concrete up all the yard from it. For to walk in mud. So with that now, it make a hole right in the middle here. It burst and stitch, they burst there and make a hole and start to ooze. And that oozing was giving him pain too bad. We give him all kind of things. Give him vegenin, we give him how you call it, what did give him? What did make pills we give? What did give them to? Cocaine, something with cocaine.
Home remedies and stuff?
No, doctor remedy.
Oh.
Cocaine tablets, some kind of cocaine tablet. It used to give him a easy,
Yeah, but still not,
but not
get rid of it.
It wasn't getting cured. We give him vegetables to cure him. And one night my mother put him on the bed now to sleep. And she not sleeping there. Put him there to sleep and she put her son on. They buy another bed, a small bed. So the big bed was so the small bed. So I and mother used to sleep on the small bed. And she put him on the bed. Every day she used to come and feed him and thing because he can't walk and all that. And the last night she gave him a cigarette. He liked his cigarette. Right? And he liked his cigarette, he smoked. And it looked like he wanted to smoke again and put it on the other side. You know, one side have the filter and
one side is it pure.
And he light the other side. And when he put it back in the motor and smoke, and when she get up in the morning, she go in the kitchen and thing, and then she come to see him. When she come, she see the cigarette. She said, "Why the cigarette?" What? She call it, "Why the cigarette?" So he answered. So she realized he dead. She said he dead.
So he died right.
She put her hand there and she put, you know, she's a sensible lady, you know. She put her head to see if he breathing, you know, to see if he breathing. And she see here breathing. And she called K and tell K that he died. And K come up same time.
Auntie K had moved out by then?
Yeah.
Auntie K was living somewhere else?
No, the same house.
Oh.
They done build a house and living there already.
Oh.
So she come up from there and come up to see. And she see he dead. And Mikey, no. Mikey done make arrangement to get married to Gloria in Pointe-a-Pierre. His Sunday was the wedding. So Tuesday they went to put up the thing there. Someone. I just put up, when you go in the courthouse, you have to put up the notice that you're getting married.
Oh, yeah. You put the announcement on the newspaper?
Not newspaper, they put it up in the red house.
Oh, okay.
And they just put it in a glass case and put it in so everybody could see it there.
And know if...
know these people. And she come, died on Tuesday, they went and do it, and she come on Tuesday, and she said, oh, she talked to my father, he didn't die yet, he didn't get anything. He tell her, he said, Betty, I can't make nothing again, I have nothing to give you. I am sorry you're getting married, but you have to be satisfied with whatever you get. I haven't got anything to offer you. I'm so sorry. He said, look at my condition now, I can't even walk properly. He tell her when she married, she must keep her marriage and stay married. And think she will get up, she'll get good in the end. In the end she will reap. Which is true, eh?
And who he was selling that to?
Gloria.
Okay, Auntie Gloria.
Yeah, she done go and put up the bands to marry Mikey.
Yeah.
But he didn't go to see where Gloria was living and thing. He didn't go to make the arrangement. And
like because he wasn't well.
He wasn't well. My mother didn't even go either. But when he died the Tuesday.
And the wedding Sunday.
The wedding was Sunday. Well, Tuesday when he died, we do all the arrangements and things. My sister go and get you. And my father had enough money to buy his box. You know, he tell me, he said, listen, I have money in case when I die, you know where the money is, take it out and give it to them. And I went and take it out and give them to buy the box. Buy the box at Batu.
So he only told you?
Well, yes, he only considered me.
Yeah.
He went at Batu because he had considered Jaggy and them. Jaggy used to work and give Nanie the money. So he used to consider me. They got my Batu to get it, order the box and then I will make arrangement for the funeral the next Friday. And Friday when they done bury, Friday morning they come and do all the Hindu thing and they bury him. We went in the Mr. Ramlin was working in Town Hall and he get the spot first to bury him now. So we were buried. In those days it wasn't cremated.
No, only burying.
It was buried. They didn't have place to cremate. I think there's a cremate on the
wharf.
The red bridges down
by the creek.
Yeah, you have to go down the hill and near this thing.
By the beach.
By the beach, yeah. If they had no beach there, you're jumping off concrete.
And how old was Bob? when he
in the
died?
60s.
60s?
Yeah, maybe 68 or something, so I don't know. But he died young.
He died pretty young.
Mhm.
How did Nanie take it?
Well, she was a strong woman, you know. She take it good and she live after she do her work. That same Friday,
Uh-huh.
when he done bury Saturday, she got take all the sheet and wash it. She and Auntie K wash it and sheet, bed, everything, scrub around the house and everything for wedding Sunday. But the wedding coming day, the wedding kept by all your house down in Lady Hills.
By where Dad lived?
Where all you live it now? Where Joe live?
Yeah. So that's where Uncle Mikey...
Jackie and Joe, they done married already and he built the house but they didn't move in yet.
Oh.
So we keep the wedding there.
Which part? Downstairs?
No, upstairs.
Oh, okay.
This girl, Razia Khan, and the Idus and them come and they make thing, all kind of thing, and we had a lot of people there, and then they dance in the hall. Remember they didn't have no furniture and thing, eh?
So it was empty.
And that's how it was. But Nanie couldn't come. Nanie and my sister didn't come because they were washing and thing and cleaning the house because they said the dead, when the dead gone, they, you know, yeah,
Can't celebrate.
can't celebrate. So they get married this Sunday and then they come down there.
And then when did the funeral for Bob happen?
The Friday.
So like a whole week nearly?
No,
Oh, so
Tuesday.
Thursday, the day after.
Friday we buried him. Saturday, Sunday was the wedding.
Oh, wow.
But when Gloria and said they don't invite people already. They can't call them now to tell them they had a wedding. You
Right.
know? So they kept it so.
So Uncle Mikey was fine? He
was-
wasn't like sad or anything?
Mikey was good looking girl. He was a handsome boy. He had time to study bath. I was sad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Because y'all were close. You're probably like his little girl.
my father liked girls. My mother liked boys.
Ah.
So all my father did like Kay plenty and he liked me. And anybody, she guilt her and he liked the guilt her. Just like how your father, your grandfather liked you.
Yeah.
Just so he would like grandchildren, grandgirls.
Yeah.
He has studied Terry and
Uncle Mikey. Yeah.
he has studied Terry and Ian and not Ian and Dexter.
Jackie. Yeah.
Yeah, he has studied and David. He has studied Christine,
Yeah.
right?